Hey, what day is it?
November 2nd.
Saturday, November 2nd, and we're in the van here with my friend Vincent Trotto.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Yeah, this is SUPcast episode 11. We've been doing this podcast for 11 episodes. This is the 11th episode. It's crazy.
Congratulations.
My friend here, Vincent Trotto, is one of the more interesting humans I know, and is somewhat of a legend in my eyes. Dearborn Heights resident still.
I'm staying out in Ypsilanti more these days.
But when I met this dude, we were at Dearborn Heights in Michigan. Dearborn is a suburb of Detroit, which it actually borders Detroit on the west side. And then there's Dearborn and Dearborn Heights. What's the difference between the Heights and Dearborn?
The Dearborn Heights has the 50s McDonald's, which is a 50s themed McDonald's, a beautiful shrine to Elvis Presley. And Dearborn doesn't have no shit like that. I mean, they do have Greenfield Village, and they got like the chair that Abraham Lincoln got his brains blown out in, but I don't think that compares to the Elvis Presley shrine at the 50s McDonald's.
So the biggest difference
is in the quality of McDonald's, yeah.
Right. So the main difference of Dearborn and Dearborn
I don't
Heights,
even eat at McDonald's or nothing. I just kind of go there to cry, weep.
When I was a little boy, because the house that my mom currently lives in is in Dearborn, Michigan, and I was a little boy, my grandma actually lived in that house before my mom moved in, and there was a brief period of time where me and all my crazy friends lived there and had backyard wrestling and whatnot. But there was a time where I went to that 50s McDonald's with my grandma, and I remember I didn't know at the time that my grandma was mentally ill. Before she died, I was just a little boy. I had no idea. She had a lot of mental issues, and she was very confrontational and weird. So it was, but long story short, we were sitting there at the 50s McDonald's.
She didn't confront the Elvis Presley shrine.
No.
The Superman they got popping out the glass over there.
I haven't been there in so long, but no, but we were at the 50s McDonald's, and she was looking, and she said, "That woman looks like a man." And I just remember I was a little boy, and I'm like, okay. And she just like was getting all heated. My grandma was just like, "That woman looks like a man," and she got like visibly just pissed off that this.
Fuck. She started hulking up a little bit.
Yeah, that this person existed in the 50s McDonald's. She's there with her grandkids, and we're just trying to eat. And
she turned into Rhino from ECW, getting ready to gore.
So yeah, that happened. That happened. We were there at the 50s McDonald's, and I don't even know if it was a trans person. I think my grandma just was pissed that this woman had masculine features and she couldn't handle it.
Yeah, older folk, they have a hard time understanding a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, rest in peace, Ivy. But yeah, she was nuts. I was telling Allie the other day that when my aunt, and I don't know if I should say this on the podcast. Should I say this on the podcast?
Yeah, say it on the pod.
Okay.
What
Well,
are you gonna say?
apparently my grandma, when my aunt would come home from a night out on the town when she was still living at home, she would ask to sniff her underwear to make sure she wasn't having. I mean, my grandma had.
That's the best way to check, honestly.
Nah.
But I do that to my boys. Like, you know, if we're on tour or something and we all get back to the van, I'm like, pop those boxers off. I'm taking a sniff and I'm looking for pre-cum. And if I see it, you guys are going to get punished. We have a kendo stick. We start beating the shit out of their shins.
I mean, we're laughing, but that was a real thing. I mean, my aunt definitely had to deal with her mother being like, "Were you out having sex?" And that's why as soon as my mother graduated high school and got accepted to Michigan State University, she was out. She was just out, and she didn't want to deal with that shit anymore. My grandma was crazy.
Yeah, you got to get the fuck out of
my
that
grandma was crazy,
situation.
and my grandpa was an alcoholic. So my mother, the fact that she's a relatively even-keeled, nice person with not a lot of baggage is a testament to her strength as a person, because she grew up in a crazy fucking environment. She was getting like hit by her mother and panties sniffed.
Yeah,
and
nobody should get their panties sniffed.
That's just weird. It's weird. So I didn't know this about you, Ivy, my grandmother. I love you.
I wonder what
But
I don't mean to be crass, but I'm wondering what she's smelling for cum. or like
she was smelling for
smell?
sex.
For that pussy smell?
I don't know what specifically she was smelling for, but she was smelling for sex.
That'd be kind of tough, like, you know, because if you get horny, it get kind of wet down there, and that's like, you're not having sex, you're just getting a little horny.
It's tough to say.
She must have never went to the 50s McDonald's thing. You see that Elvis Presley shrine. That pussy's getting wet as hell. That's why I can't take my Aunt Frances there. She get too horny if she see that fucking thing.
And when I was a little boy and my grandma was freaking out about that person looks like a man, little did she know, I had a little man boner from the Elvis Presley shrine. Yeah, I was a little third grader and just didn't know what was happening to my body. I saw Elvis in all of his porcelain glory. And it was...
that's what's cool about growing up in like the same area, is we both kind of discover sexuality in the same exact way.
Oh, that's okay. That's how you discovered who you were sexually.
Yeah, at the Elvis Presley shrine at the 50s McDonald's.
Well, I never knew that about you. I've known you for a very long time.
We're discovering new things about each other.
I didn't know
We've known each other a long time, at least 10 or 15 years, it seems.
I think the first time I remember actually meeting you was, you know, in the 7-Eleven parking lot, and you were buying tickets to see a Downtown Brown concert, and I don't really remember which one.
You know what? I do know what it was. It was the St. Patrick's Day hangover show that had Party Dream.
Yeah.
At the Magic Stick.
And I think Super 8-Bit Bros.
Yeah, Super 8-Bit Brothers.
And Screaming Monkey Boner when they were SMB Screaming Monkey Boner.
That was one of the sickest shows I've ever seen. I was like 17. I was a little young man. I remember I smoked weed with like this dude, and then Party Dream came out, and like my brain melted.
I think that was 06?
It was something like that. It was... yeah, I think it was like 06.
It was 06 because the night before in Toledo, I actually still have the scar. I decided that I was going to... We were playing that venue, the Underground. You've been there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, it's not there anymore, but it's the Underground of a place called Club Bijou. And I had the bright idea, because it has a low ceiling. I had the bright idea to sit or to stand before I did my big, dumb guitar move. And then I jumped, I was standing on a chair, and then I jumped off the chair into the rafters with my head of the Underground, and I just started bleeding like a stuck pig. Harry Bob was there. I ended up having to, they put this goo in to close up, instead of stitches, it was like liquid skin or whatever. It's like they put this plastic in there.
Super glue shit or whatever, yeah.
I thought I had a concussion. They kept feeding me whiskey. I was just bleeding all over the place.
That's the best thing for a concussion. When you get a brain injury, just drink it up.
That was Jason Mitchell's idea, the bartender at the time down in Toledo, Ohio. He was like, this guy just smashed his head against the ceiling of the venue, and let's...
To be fair, if you were to go to the hospital in Toledo, Ohio, you would have got the same treatment. They would have just fed you whiskey down there.
You were over the hospital like, I think I have a concussion. They're like, give this man some Jameson. That's what happened.
We don't have any. All right, get him the R&R.
R&R. We just, I just saw Joel Grind and the band Toxic Holocaust. Are you aware of them?
That sounds like something I've seen, but...
It's some thrash metal, but they open up for Guar. We saw ATG. You know the ATG guys, right? Yeah, it was fun. We just went and did that. That was last weekend, I think.
Oh, shit. That's tight.
So what are you doing in Los Angeles? We're here, let me just preface this. We're here in the parking lot of a grocery store in... Where are we, Allie?
Silver Lake.
Silver Lake.
Echo Park.
Echo Park. We were trying to take the podcast over onto the swan boats at the lake. They said that was a no-go. Okay.
So you're banned from listening to ICP on this trip?
Yeah, I was trying to listen to. Well, it's my own fault, 'cause I wanted to listen to a Halloween on Military Street like 20 times in a row. They had announced, that guy that like looked at Jeffrey Epstein's body. He was like, yeah, it kind of looks like more consistent with a murder. So I was like, son of a bitch, I knew it. So I went outside and just started listening to ICP while smoking a cigarette. And that's when the neighbor at the Airbnb was like, that's dangerous. She's talking to her dog, and she's telling him how dangerous it is for me to be smoking, and that she was going to call the landlord of the Airbnb. And I was like, do it, motherfucker. Call whoever the fuck you got to call. Call the cops. But I didn't know that I was actually not supposed to smoke there. That was actually a law that they had. Whoopsie.
Yes. Was it a law like for the? Is it one of the rules?
I think it's just a rule of the roost.
Of the Airbnb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the lady that make the laws.
You have to walk out to the street, or what's considered what's the green?
I don't know.
Area?
I just started smoking in the carport.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I would go to the other side of the building, and there was a dog that kept barking on me, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, he's gonna rat me out."
I feel like way less people smoke cigarettes out here.
Oh yeah.
I feel like in the Midwest, it's.
Everybody smoke.
Yeah.
You can't find a teenager anywhere not smoking on a Marlboro Light or something.
So do you feel when you light up around here? Does it feel different?
You kind of get some like, noses pointed up to the sky at you, which I don't particularly care.
I haven't had a cigarette since January of this year, so I'm doing.
And
pretty good.
I only smoke when I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
So, yeah. In my private citizen life, I mostly just use vaporizers and.
Ah, okay. Is it true that in Michigan they got rid of the flavored vape? Is that
they did for like it was like 2 weeks, and then like a judge was just like, this bitch is out of her mind. She can't just pass emergency laws for anything that she wants. It's unconstitutional. So a judge like revoked the ban. Now they're going to the Supreme Court about it.
So who initially made the law? Was it the governor?
Yeah, it was.
What's her name?
Gretchen Whitmer.
Okay, I'm so out of the loop. I don't even know who the governor of Michigan is these days. So who is the guy that poisoned all those children? What's that dude?
Oh, Rick Snyder.
Rick Snyder's gone?
Yeah, he's gone.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think they actually they brought like Houdini's like water torture tank out of storage. And they put him in it and filled it with Flint water as a punishment.
It's a fitting punishment. Fuck that guy. I can't. Well,
you get to come up for air like every 5 minutes, and it's back into the tank filled with Legionnaire's disease.
Well, not only did he know about, he knew that was happening, and all those people got sick, but. He was
just worried about making sure that the 3-story Buffalo Wild Wing stayed open in downtown Detroit. That was his main concern. Flint, he's like, what the fuck do I care about Flint?
Fuck a Flint. I need a B-dubs. Is it really 3 stories? I've driven
I
by
think
there.
It's closed now. I think
Okay.
they did go out of business, but that was Rick Snyder was out there campaigning, holding a sign, trying to get people in the door. But it was 3 fucking stories.
It's just I can just picture right now Rick Snyder like in front of the B-dubs, like just holding the sign. It's just a solo protest, a solo operation.
He's soaked in buffalo wing sauce too. He's out there. He's got a paintbrush. He's just painting the Asian zing sauce on him.
Because I had a dude named Jimmy Doom on the podcast a couple weeks ago, or how many weeks back, and he was talking about how Snyder killed the film incentive to have Hollywood.
Oh yeah, he fucked that up.
Yeah,
and they had just built like the movie lot studio area in Allen Park.
Yeah,
they just put millions of dollars into that, and then he just, hey, you know what? Let's not do that. Fuck that.
Who needs money? Like the state doesn't need money. Well, I'm here with Vincent Trotto. Like this could be just a conversation, or we could get deep into who you are as a person, or we could just like riff.
We just riff it out, baby.
Yeah, if you're down to just riff it out.
Yeah, I'm just down to riff it out, baby.
Because that's the one thing. One of the main things I like about you is your ability to off the cuff do the riffing, whether you're on stage or whether you're just fucking with people.
Stage riffing fun, but I like to riff on the street.
Yeah, that's what I noticed the most. I was trying to describe you to Allie here. And what I notice you do a lot is you just put yourself in these weird situations and you kind of just immerse yourself in.
I have a big let's just see what happens mentality.
Yeah, in the hilarity of
everything's really funny to me. Like I think everything is fucking stupid, and I'm like a 6'4" mongoloid. I'm just a fucking monster.
Give me an example of a situation that you were put in recently, just being in LA, that you found hilarious.
Well, I'm out here for my cousin's wedding, and him and his buddies are a little bit like more normie. Like, I'm a little like, they probably think I'm just a mentally ill person, but. We were going out, he wanted to bar hop on Hollywood Boulevard, and I was like, that's great news, because last time I was out here, there was this, like, Cretan trash bag Spider-Man guy, and I fell in love with him. He was fucking pestering people for money, And so I pulled out $1 and I'm like, here, man, like here's a buck for you. He grips it up and he starts kissing it like this. He's like, mwah, 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 mwah. And like from that moment on, I always referred to him as my Spider-Man, like that. Oh yeah, my Spider-Man. That's my little guy. That's my dude. And so we were walking around Hollywood Boulevard, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna find my Spider-Man, and I got some cash on me. I'm gonna see if you want to get some crack, and we can just go smoke in the alley. And I mentioned this maybe 30 to 40 times before my cousin was like, hey, man, you're really talking about the drugs a lot. Like, it was funny at first, and I was just like, yeah, it started as a bit, but the more I talk about it, the more I actually do want to smoke crack with these fucking cretins under a bridge.
This is my question. If you found your Spider-Man and he was like...
He'd be coming back with me. I'd buy him a plane ticket.
But if he was, like, took you aside and was like, let's smoke crack right now, would you...
Absolutely.
You would partake?
I would. And I would film it so that way if I ever have a son or a daughter and something happens to me and, and my wife, their mother has to, show them, like, this is who your father was, and it's just me in a tracksuit smoking crack with this fucking cretin under a bridge in a tent.
Describe, like, what makes him your Spider-Man? Like, what's with the costume? It
was basically like a trash bag with the eyes cut out a little bit and like a little bit of red mark. Like, it was a horrible costume. He had a little fanny pack on. He was like this tall. Like, you could tell he was like a little Chinese guy. And just the way he was kissing the money, he was so happy. And like, I was like, well, I got definitely bringing $20 so I can hook him up with a little moolah to smooch on.
For anyone that doesn't know, on Hollywood Boulevard, there's a bunch of people dressed up like movie characters, superheroes, Transformers, and whatnot.
All in horrific costumes.
Yeah, and most of the costumes are pretty DIY. There's not too much money involved, and essentially what their grift is they take pictures and then demand money. Like, if you take a picture of them or with them...
Very confrontational about the money.
Yeah, if you walk away without giving them money, they'll give you a piece of their mind.
They'll start gnawing on your shoes. They'll start chewing them apart. You don't want to be walking around Hollywood Boulevard with no shoes on.
So I saw you on your Instagram story, there's a guy holding a sign.
Yeah, the king. Salute to the king. He was walking around. We were coming up from the subway, and he's going down. He's just holding up a big old sign that says, I eat pussy. And, like, he got everyone all riled up. There was, like, a whole crew of teenagers. They were all wearing clown masks, and they started chanting, like yeah, I eat pussy. I eat pussy. And then, I was like, fuck, dude, I got to get more of them. And I talked to him for a minute, and the only thing he would say to me is Happy Halloween. I couldn't get more information out of him about the pussy and how he eats it. So
he didn't elaborate on his pussy eating?
No,
he just said Happy Halloween.
He just like, happy, and he had like a really soft voice. He's like, Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween.
Do you think that maybe he didn't understand what the sign said, or someone gave him that sign?
I think it's possible somebody gave him that sign.
He just had no idea what it meant.
I don't know what his angle was, because it was, he's just letting everyone know that he eats pussy, but he didn't really want to talk about it, or, I don't know what his grift is. But then there was a white rapper. He was calling himself Traveling Surfer. He got the tourists like all riled up with his raps.
Was he freestyling in the street kind of thing?
I think it was like he had just like a little amp with him.
Yeah.
And he was rapping off beat, which I thought was sick as hell. He had like a crowd of 50 people on the corner all cheering him. He's just rapping off beat. I was like, this fucking rules, dude. Hell yeah, Traveling Surfer.
You were a part of a rap group at one point.
Yeah, in my younger days.
Let's talk about IGB.
The Intergalactic Ghetto Blasters.
What I think I'm trying to think, because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, the story arc, because I knew you enjoyed Downtown Brown, but at some point I was like, these guys are in this rap group and it's hilarious, and then we started inviting you to open for us.
Yeah,
and there was Was it the Potato Fest?
We were pretty established by the Potato Extravaganza. That was a fun one. It was a whole Potato Fest, and that's when I came up with like the brilliant idea of going to the dollar store and buying like instant mashed potatoes, And like during the set, pouring it in my mouth with some water and trying to make the mashed potatoes in my mouth. Still one of my better bits, I think. I reflect upon that one fondly. But yeah, that band started because there was this other dude in the neighborhood, John B., and he used to come over my house, and like the neighbor next door to me, he was kind of a crackhead, and he'd always just go buy us beer and shit. And we would record. We'd get hammered off like a 30-pack and record songs on a computer microphone, and then we'd burn them onto a CDR, and then we'd go bother like yuppies on wine night in Wyandotte as they were leaving. Like, hey, we're selling CDs. We had a pretty good hustle going on, bothering people.
You actually moved some of the CDs to the wine drinkers?
Oh, yeah.
In Wyandotte?
In Wyandotte.
Like by the water?
Yeah, on Biddle Street.
Down river.
We would, we'd load up with like 50 CDs and we'd sell them all. And then, we would take that business model to malls. And even when we tour, like later on with, the band I'm in now, Crochetcatpause, like, when we're in a town, we always hit up a mall and try and sell CDs to kids, like walking out of Hot Topic and shit.
Wow.
Try to make money anywhere you can.
I used to be pretty guerrilla in the marketing of what I do, but now I just am old and tired. And
it's just another excuse to bother people and have them tell them to get the fuck away from you.
Well, and that's like one of the things I enjoy most about kicking it with you guys. And when we started having you guys opening up the shows, is at that point in my life, I got a lot of enjoyment out of making people uncomfortable. And
that was like our forte, baby.
Well, the way I looked at it is you guys were on that same tip, especially like 06, 07, 08.
Oh yeah, just eating lit cigarette butts and fucking.
Yeah, when I was drinking a lot, I'm just like I'm like, all right, let's get these guys open for us because they're all about making people as uncomfortable as we are, and it was a shit show. I mean, like back then, it wasn't really about music; it was about offending people.
Yeah,
like offending vegetarians or you name it. Like we just went to war with everyone. It was the MySpace era.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It was about posting obscene things and trying to get as much attention as we could. Not even really for our music, but more for the antics, like throwing cheeseburgers at people and whatnot. And you guys had the same antics, so it was like it didn't have much to do with music. It had everything to do with. Like,
it was like the potato extravaganza like sticks out because I remember because we performed on a stage behind a church, and like we had like a bunch of like stuffed animals we were setting on fire. It was just a fucking mess. Like I remember looking at like the grass where we were playing, and it was just fucking, fucking mashed potatoes oozing. That was the worst part. Was like all the mashed potatoes like flakes all over my face.
Who were the members of IGB?
It was myself and John B, like I mentioned, and Chris Miller, who to this day is still my best friend, confidant, and creative business partner.
Is he involved with Crochetcatpause?
Yeah. Crochetcatpause was like mine and his thing.
Doesn't he make the beats?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he writes, like, because Crochetcatpause is a punk band, and Chris Miller writes most of like all the synth parts. And then Rebecca Riot, our guitar player, she writes all the guitar parts. And then Chris Ruckus, our baby boy from Pittsburgh, he is like just a production mastermind.
So everyone is from Detroit except for Ruckus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. And
I remember when who did we play? We played with Childbite and Polka Dot Cadaver. We had Crochetcatpause.
Yeah, that's when the homie from Childbite called my man a retard.
I want to hear that story, Vince. Let's tell that story.
Well,
we love Childbite on the show, but by the way, I'm definitely.
Oh yeah, there's no ill will toward it. But I completely agree with the man.
I just remember we had Polka Dot Cadaver coming to town, and we're like, okay, let's get the weirdest bands in Detroit on this bill.
That was the same night Kid Rock was doing his bullshit up at Comerica Park too.
Yeah, we put.
So I remember when we pulled into St. Andrews, there was like two fucking wine blasted moms, and they were like, like the parking guy was trying to get the $10 from us, and they're just like shoving their tits in his face and shit, trying to get him to suck on him. Kid Rock get fucking bug wild. Fucking Comerica Park.
My mom has a girlfriend that is you know, like probably late 50s.
Rocked out. Kid
Obsessed
Rock
with Kid Rock. Does the Kid Rock cruise. And she actually like was super depressed this last year because she couldn't afford to go on the Kid Rock cruise. She was like crying.
Fuck, I didn't know he had a cruise.
She's also married to a Mexican man and like, openly racist against Mexicans.
A few years from now, they're gonna open like a
Weird
1999 McDonald's, and there'll be a shrine to Kid Rock in there.
Yeah, and ICP and Slipknot.
ICP, Eminem.
Yeah, Limp Bizkit, all the good stuff.
Detroit really is a beautiful like place in the rap rock community.
I mean, that was a big year. Eminem and Kid Rock and ICP all kind of blew up. In 98, 99, those was a big year in music. But let's go back to the Child Bite thing. We're hanging out. And we're opening up for Polka Dot Cadaver, Todd Smith and friends. And I put the bill together. I'm like, let's get all the weirdest bands in Detroit. So we got Child Bite, Downtown Brown, and Crochetcatpause. And what happened? I want to hear your version of the story.
From what I remember, Chris Ruckus, he wrapped like caution tape around his head, so only like his eyes were visible and his mouth. And this was probably like 2011, and he was still doing this party trick on stage where he could make himself puke. So he was just puking into a trash can through the caution tape for the entire like 25-30 minute set. And then Child Bite went on after us, and like between every song, like Sean was like, "This next song is dedicated to the retarded kid that was puking in the trash can." I was like, that's pretty sick. I mean, Chris Miller was mad about it. He's like, how dare he? And I'm like, well, dude, he looks like a fucking asshole puking into a trash can.
Now, is that something?
And actually, during the same era, like, you know, we were puking into trash cans. I kind of forgot about this, but my cousin reminded me at his bachelor party, like, this had been like 8-9 years ago. He was doing a fundraiser for a movie he was making in Dearborn, and he was throwing like a benefit show at the Modern Exchange. You remember that place?
Yeah.
And my whole family was there, my aunts and my cousins and shit, and we were on the bill with like some of his buddies' band. There was a horrorcore rap band that played, and we spent the entire time in the green room, and we were just like smashing Four Locos, and we ended up like kind of forgetting where we were, and so when we played, like, we were pissing in trash cans, we were puking everywhere in front of my family, and like I had a bad lapse of judgment, and you know, we left after we played and all that, and then like I remember like, I think it was probably Thanksgiving, like somebody asked me about my band. They're like, oh, how's your band doing? You still doing that? And my aunt like pipes in like, I've seen it. It's disgusting. You don't even want to know what they do. And I was like, oh my God, you did see us just pull our dicks out and piss into the trash can. Whoops, man, that was not good. We don't talk about it anymore though.
Yeah, there was definitely shows where Wolf and I like drank piss, and there was shows where Wolf would like,
there's some shows that just call for it.
He would carve things into his forehead and bleed all over the place.
Yeah, that was a Chris Miller thing too. He'd always carve upside down cross. One time we were playing in West Virginia at a house show, and he's got a knife and he's carving upside down crosses into his leg as the cops arrive. So the cops are looking in the window where we're playing with their flashlights, and they just see Chris fucking mutilating his body.
No, that's Ruckus, not Miller.
Yeah, no, that was Miller that did that.
Oh, Miller's
Miller's the psycho.
Miller's the fearless carver.
Yeah,
and Ruckus is the retarded puker.
Yeah, he's the retarded puker. Yeah.
And we're just paraphrasing Sean from Child Bite. Yeah. We're not actually using the R word on this podcast.
We're not using the R slur.
Yeah, we're paraphrasing someone else's statement. So don't hate us too much. So yeah, so I want to know. Okay, we did some shows back in like 2011 through 2014. We did a bunch of shows with ICP, and there was some amazing footage that you actually got.
That was Columbus.
Well, first of all, there's 2011 when we opened up for them in Toledo.
Oh yeah, there was a Toledo one too. I forgot about that.
And Vince is like, "Hey, can I go with you?" And we're like, "Well, who better to document the Juggalo culture than Mr. Vincent Trotto here?" So
I got away with the clowns.
We gave him the Sony Handycam, and he filmed our entire set on stage, and it actually captured an amazing, amazing moment with Ron. If you could give the audience your recollection of that, I want to.
Is that the Fat Jesus thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a young man in the front row. He was no older than like 8 or 9. And he keeps yelling at Ron. He keeps going like, "Fuck you, Fat Jesus! Fuck you, Fat Jesus!" And he's got his mom standing behind him like, "Calm down, honey. It's okay, calm down." And so I kind of like stopped filming you guys and just focused in on the child being calmed down by his mother while he's screaming, "Fuck you, Fat Jesus." He wasn't happy that you guys weren't ICP.
Yeah, we were the band before ICP. And so
there was a lot of people that were loving what's going on, but there's just some people, Juggalo is just, they want to see ICP. That's all they want to see.
Well, it makes sense. If you go to see Iron Maiden, you're not really that pumped to see the opener. You just want fucking Maiden.
You just want Iron Maiden.
Or if you go to see Kiss, you just want to see Kiss. Like, it makes sense.
Well, no, if you want to go see Kiss, you just want to get your dick sucked in the bathroom by a dude in fucking Peter Kiss makeup.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I go.
That's why I went to the Kiss's last show in Detroit, and yeah, just went to get blew by fucking Peter Criss guy.
Did you make that happen?
Of course.
Good, I'm proud of you.
The cruising bathroom scene is fucking huge in the Kiss community. You go in there and you just look. Everyone gives you a look, and then you just nudge to the stall.
I mean, I guess that's how it goes down. I have to go to a Kiss show because I'm curious. I'm Kiss curious now.
Yeah, you just get on Facebook and join the Kiss community.
So, flash forward to 2014, we got invited.
That was a good one.
We got invited to play Juggalo Day,
which is a special holiday on February 17th.
Yes, and every year ICP does like a full album in its entirety, and this year they did the Great Malenko in 2014. They invited Downtown Brown to be one of the openers, which was like, I grew up listening to ICP, so I was stoked to be involved with them, opening for them in any respect. And it really, like, the Juggalos they didn't really like Downtown Brown at all, but we got to experience this amazing stuff. And so, yeah, 2014, and then did you come down with us, or did you meet us down there?
I drove down with Alex and, what's that dude's name?
Oh, Nate.
Nate. Yeah, Nate.
Ah.
That's when me and Nate had a couple little battles on that thing.
Oh, but, you got sick, but what,
But when we got to the venue, I was given, like, the backstage pass. And, like, I took a quick layout, and I saw that, like, where, like, the clowns were hanging out was, like, in this, like, upstairs part. I remember asking you, I'm like, "So does this get me up there with the clowns?" And you said, "Nah, probably not. I wouldn't try it, dude." And I was like, all right. So I immediately went up there. I went up there and the psychopathic rapper Big Hoodoo was up there with various members of, his entourage and stuff. And, I just kind of mingle in, get in the circle. And there was a bottle of Jack Daniels just like chilling on like a counter. It looked like a hotel up there. And so I gripped up the bottle of Jack Daniels, I took a nip, and the whole room fucking stopped. Everyone's like, whoa, that's Violent J's bottle of Jack. No lips, motherfucker, we don't know what you got. And I was like, oh, man. Oh, my apology, boys. I mean, it's very cool that you're looking out for your clown man's lips. It's very cool protecting his lips like that. But, they were like, who the fuck are you? And I'm like, oh, my name's Vince, dude. I play bass in Downtown Brown. He's like, oh, you were in that band that was just playing? It's like, yeah. They're like, man, you rock, dude. That was rock. I'm like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, dude. So I ended up just fucking bullshitting with all the clown rappers. And I was also filming for, Downtown Brown and everything. And
doing the vlog.
At one point, like, Big Hoodoo, like, fucking, he's all fucked up. He starts playing around with his gun. Him and his buddy, they're like, playing with it. And I was just like, hey, do you guys want to, like, do a promo? And they're like, yeah. I was like, all right, just say like something about Downtown Brown. And like, so Big Hoodoo's like putting his gun in my face, like saying, if you don't fuck with Downtown Brown, I will come to your house and fucking kill you.
Yes. Yo, yeah, this Big Hoodoo again. I'm back. Psychopathic Records representative. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to find out. You fucking with Downtown Brown? Downtown Brown is a shit. Are you fucking with him? I said, are you fucking with Downtown Brown? Because if you ain't, I'm on your fucking ass, bitch. Downtown Brown is the shit. I come to your fucking house. You better say that shit. Downtown Brown is the shit. I don't fuck around, bitch. Detroit murderers. Big Hoodoo. Downtown Brown is the shit. You don't say that shit, I will fucking kill you.
And I didn't realize at the time, but his finger was definitely on the trigger, and he was definitely a little bit too drunk and high to maybe be playing with the gun like that.
You think he had the safety on?
I don't know. Probably not. They're clowns.
So he potentially could have had the safety off, finger on the trigger, gun in your face.
Yeah, he could have fucking blew my head off. Which is the way I want to go, is clown rappers signed to Psychopathic Records fucking blowing my fucking brains out.
Well, and the best part about it all is Vince has got a camera on the dude, and Hoodoo's just saying, if you talk shit about Downtown Brown, I'm going to come to your house, I'm going to fucking kill you. And yeah,
he probably doesn't even remember saying that.
We have that clip. I'm going to run that clip on the podcast. So yeah, it's a real thing. Vincent Trotto, the fearless man, the line stepper, the lips on Violent J's bottle of Jack Daniels dude.
The great clown explorer.
Yeah.
They call me the Magellan of the Juggalo community.
But if it wasn't for this dude right here, like there's a couple key moments in the history of my band where we're doing shit with ICP and Vince was the guy with the camera. So yeah.
I was also running around the crowd asking if anyone had seen my clown son. It's like, hey, help! I can't find my son. He's 15 years old and he's dressed like a clown. Has anyone seen my clown son?
Which that could have been
could have been anybody there.
It could have been 1,500 people. Could have fit that description.
Like, what'd your son look like? Well, he had like a white face and he had a black smile, black like kind of eyebrows. He said he was dressed up as his favorite clown, Shaggy Two Dope.
What's funny too is there was an interview that ICP was doing. Have you ever seen the interview series online where it's these two little girls and they interview bands?
No, I don't think so.
I don't know if they do it anymore because it was years ago, so they're probably like teenagers now and they got bored with it or whatever. But it's these little kids asking ICP questions, and in the background you can hear Downtown Brown playing and screaming, and the Juggalos going woo, and like and we're playing.
Did that happen in Columbus?
Yeah, it was all that same day. It was a pretty iconic day.
I don't think they let the little girls hang out with like where the Jack Daniels and the weed was. I didn't see the little girl.
It was somewhere in that venue, but yeah, there was definitely not drugs lying around because it was kid friendly.
Clowns like to smoke. That's one thing they do like to do.
It's medicine.
I got to see like a very candid like entry into Big Hoodoo's psyche. Is he was talking to his friend. And he was just like, all right, man, let's go down in the crowd. Let's find some weed. And Big Hoodoo looked at him and was like, I'm a superstar. Superstars don't go down into the crowd. You go in the crowd and get Big Hoodoo some weed. I was like, damn, my man is a narcissist.
but I mean, I've read Violent J's book. So
that's a good book.
Yeah, Behind the Paint.
Behind the Paint.
And also, I don't know if you're aware.
I like all his sex stories. He had some threesomes, I think, after Woodstock '99.
Oh, he's very candid about all that stuff. But I am gonna give a plug. There is a YouTube channel that Violent J retold.
Yeah, he does the audiobook.
He does the audiobook, but he adds a bunch of extra stuff. And for in the beginning of 2019, I was at work a lot, and all I did was listen to Violent J read Behind the Paint with all of the extra added goodies. For it's like hours and hours and hours of him telling their story, and it's amazing. But back to the Big Hoodoo thing. That's the thing about ICP. There's a whole section of the book where he's like, if you want anyone to take you seriously, you're not going to be sitting by the merch booth hoping someone talks to you. You're not going to be in the crowd. You're going to be an enigma. You're going to be backstage. No one's going to see you.
Okay, so these are philosophies that Violent J probably instilled in my friend Big Hoodoo.
Absolutely. It's a psychopathic artist thing. It's like if you're an artist, you're above the public. I mean, not in like a bad way, but it's that whole enigmatic I'm behind the scenes. Like I remember like at that 2011 show when we opened up for ICP, we were smoking weed in the van, me and Joey V, and as we like piled out of the van, like it was probably like 5 minutes before showtime. This cargo van, like a rented cargo van, rolls up.
Yeah, their like intro music is playing.
Their intro music is playing, and ICP gets out of the van in clown makeup. Like they roll up to the show 5 seconds before they go on stage.
That's a pretty sick move.
Like and in full clown makeup. So
shit, dude.
yeah, so it's that whole like the hoodoo thing makes sense when you said that, because I don't think it's about narcissism. I think that's just the way they do their shit. Like it's
a clown philosophy.
Yeah, they roll up to the venue 5 minutes before they play in full clown makeup. They give everyone a dap and they fucking go and they just rock in front of 1,300 people.
That's real player shit, dude.
Yeah, and the best part about it is when we like spilled out of the van and we were high as fuck, we just watched it all happen and we were just sitting there like because they pretty much like roll out of the van in slow motion. We're just like, they were cool as hell, and I'm just like, that's ICP. And this was before we met them. So it was.
They still have the superstar aura.
Yeah, I mean, they still kind of do.
You can get starstruck looking at Violent J, for sure.
Dude, I mean, I was listening to those guys when I was 16, 17 and getting high with my friends and laughing.
Smoking weed in the woods, listening to the Ringmaster.
Exactly, and laughing my ass off. Like, I remember that we had these late starts in high school and we would listen to Carnival of Carnage on tape, and we would just roll on the ground laughing. We thought it was just like, it was. I thought it was fucking great. So yeah, when, flash forward however many years, 12, 13 years, and I'm a grown-ass man piling out of a van all high, and then I just see these superheroes. It's like, it'd be like watching your favorite wrestlers pile out of a van.
Right.
And same thing when I was on a bunch of mushrooms and I saw Mick Foley. I didn't approach him.
Mick Foley on shrooms, that sound cool.
We just got done playing, and he was playing the same festival as us, and I just remember I was super trip-faced, and I just stared at him from behind. I didn't say anything. I didn't approach him, and he was just sitting there on the golf cart, and I'm just like, same thing with ICP. When I rolled out of that van all fucked up, I'm just like, yeah, I know they're just human beings, but they're also, in my mind, they're kind of superheroes.
They're wicked clowns.
Dude, Mick Foley's
from outer space.
Mick Foley's a superhero. Seeing Mick Foley in person and just being that close to him and being that fucked up on mushrooms, I didn't say a goddamn thing.
Yeah, I met Mick Foley at Gibraltar Trade Center when I was like 11 years old. I remember I brought like a 2x4 piece of wood for him to sign. I fucking love Mick Foley.
He seems like a really nice guy. I didn't meet him. I just stared at him.
That's probably a better way.
Then I hid in a tent for the rest of the night.
And then waited for him to go to sleep so you could go in there and start sniffing his panties.
Yeah, and be like, "You've been fucking Mick."
Yeah, Mick, is that dried pre-cum on your Mr. Sacco here?
And then at that point, he is punished. So yeah, we're rolling, we're riffing.
That's a riff, baby.
How much of this makes sense?
Hopefully none of it. Keep it loose.
So Vincent Trotto, I think I met you when you were like 17 years old. And now we're grown-ass men. Like,
now we're in our 30s.
When I wanted to ask you about this. When you were in like your late teens or early 20s, what I'm really starting to notice is when I was at my most debaucherous and when I was at the point where I gave the least fucks, I really thought I was going to be young forever. Like, I don't know if you thought this way, but I'm always interested to hear what other people are thinking, because when I was in that like I don't care about tomorrow mentality, I just remember thinking that I'm gonna stay this young and I'm gonna be this indestructible forever.
I was definitely convinced like I was gonna die at 27.
Me too. Why do you think I
think it's Kurt Cobain. It seemed like a good age to go out.
I don't even know if I just assumed I was gonna die young because I was drinking really heavily. I was really heavy. I was on a bunch of antidepressants. I had suicidal thoughts. I was my blood pressure was really high. Just my health was terrible. I'm like, okay, well, there's like I'm obviously gonna just fizzle out before I hit 30.
Yeah, when the booze is going heavy when you're younger, that's easy. It's like I went to New Orleans. For the first time like last year, and I just turned 31, and just like one night there, I was like, shit, if I came down here in my 20s, I'd be dead, 100%. Like, I just fucking get shit hammered drunk at the laundromat, and nobody gives a fuck.
We played that venue. Is it the laundromat that has Are you talking about the laundromat that's a bar?
No.
Oh, you didn't go there. Okay.
But I mean, you could go to the bar and get a drink and then go back to the laundromat.
I think this might be the poster from that. Lucky's.
Oh, no shit.
Is Lucky's Big John, is Lucky's the place that you can do your laundry? I don't know. This is a New Orleans flyer from a long time ago. But anyway, yeah, go on. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
Oh, yeah, no, just definitely when I was in my youth, like I guess I had the mindset I was indestructible, but I was just like, yeah, you know, I'm 27, I'm probably done. And then fucking I made it to 28, and I was like, huh, cool. And I'm still alive, which is pretty cool.
How do you adapt to being an adult when all you wanted to do was just fuck off?
Well, I mean,
and I'm saying me too. I'm not saying just
my girlfriend really like reined me in and like tamed me a bit, because definitely for a few years, like I was going fucking buck wild. Like I was in a relationship for 8 years, and that ended, and so that was like 2013 to 2016. Like I was just drunk every day, waking up like, how the fuck did I get here? Just getting thrown out of so many fucking places. And so then I always had like a crush on my current girlfriend, and like I kind of got blacked out drunk and asked her out. And since then, I think that was like 3 or 4 years ago, like I've really fucking mellowed out. I've really gotten in domestication. We got 2 cats now, Noki and Garbanzo, and they fucking hate each other. And I got my homie Joey cat sitting them right now, and he's like trying to get them to start loving each other. And I told him like, all right, if we get back and you know the cats are getting along, then you know, I'll pay for you to get your dick jerked off at that massage parlor over on Washtenaw in Ypsilanti.
How much does that run these days?
$25.
Really?
Yeah, for a little jack off. But he's like, he really wants it. He's like, dude, are you for real? Like, yeah, dude, I'll pay for you to get your dick jacked off. No problem.
That's
you get the cats getting along, but I mean, the cats have to be like loving each other, licking, giving each other's baths and shit.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to happen. I wonder how bad he wants that $25 tug job.
He really wants it.
Yeah, because cats, I mean, that's...
He's like, oh, man, that's so cool you would do that for me.
That's friendship.
That is friendship. But yeah, the domestication, I ended up fucking really getting into that.
Yeah.
I'm not as... when I'm on vacation, you know, I get a little bit wild. I'm like, yeah, I want to smoke crack with fucking, you know, trash bag Spider-Man and shit. But, you know, on my normal day-to-day, you know, just... nice, calm, relaxing.
Yeah, it's weird when, say 10 years ago, I just used to go real hard and well, it's been longer than 10 years. I haven't had alcohol since 2008, so it's going on 11 years.
Congratulations on that.
But it's like, what do I do that's fun anymore? But I enjoy doing this podcast, and I play shows with the band and stuff. And
sobriety can definitely feel boring. So I'll go through patches like I won't drink for like 6 months or something. And, you know, it's just like, I guess being bored is not the worst thing in the world.
I guess so. When you were a deviant and when you were at the peak of your fucking with people and making people uncomfortable, and that's kind of like how you identified as you're being that antagonist. Like, and I was the same. And I, like, did you ever see yourself where you're at now? Could you even conceptualize that? Because I couldn't.
No, absolutely not. I thought I was just gonna keep running, you know, like a Thomas the Train, but eventually hit a brick wall and like, all right, fuck it, I'm down to die. Like that was, you know, just the mentality.
Yeah, because you know, back in those days, I didn't think for 1 second it's like I would be sober for 10+ years and. Yeah, just kind of boring. Am I boring? Are we boring?
It's all right. It's all right to be boring.
What do we do?
As you get older, you know, let the kids fucking go out and, you know, do everything fucking bug wild and shit.
Yeah, it's weird to be on that other side because I remember when I was in my early 20s and starting the band, and even when I met the guys in Tubbering and stuff, I remember they were in their 30s, and I remember my mindset was, these guys are old. Like, because Kevin Gibson was like 30 something.
They would like kind of like, you know, like Kevin Gibson and Rob, they would kind of like, you know, go chill. And then the younger dudes in their band, you know, they would be the ones partying and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But,
you know, like, yeah, they were like 40, you know, they were ready to go to bed right after the show.
But how silly of a mentality, like, looking at it now, I'm 38 years old, and it's like to think that someone who is 30 is old. You know, when I was in my early 20s, it's
when I was 23, I definitely thought 30 was like middle age.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and now I'm 32. The only thing is, my back fucking hurts all the time.
Yeah, you too, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah. But I got like fucked up posture.
Yeah, oh yeah. I got fucked up. It was a car accident that did it to me. And playing football.
I just walk
in high
around
school.
like the fucking abominable snowman.
Yeah, they have
which I always thought a good wrestling name would be the Abdominal Snowman. All fucking ripped and beautiful.
The Abdominal Snowman.
So like, one thing I do like about Los Angeles is that a lot of times it become like kind of like a fever dream. Like last time I was out here, we were over at the Rainbow Bar, the fucking Lemmy Memorial Museum.
That's where my hernia popped out.
Oh shit.
Yeah. 2018. Go ahead though.
But you know, I was talking to my cousin, and like someone just fucking like bumps into me all hard. So I turn around like, "What's your problem, motherfucker?" And it's Ron Jeremy. And I'm looking at him like, "Oh my god, I've like grown up watching you suck your own dick. This is a high honor, sir. No need to apologize." He's like apologizing to me. I'm like, no, it's fine, it's fine.
So there, I've seen him fuck, but he actually sucks his own dick.
Yeah, I can. You know, we can. I can show you a picture real quick.
We can't put that on the podcast.
Oh, well, I'll just show
you.
you.
But you can show me, personally.
Yeah.
I just want to see how quickly it comes up.
Very quick.
I definitely remember one of the first porno mags I ever saw was from the 70s.
And it had Ron Jeremy in it?
And it had Ron Jeremy fucking in it when he was skinnier. And I just remember being like, so this is porn. I was in like 7th or 8th grade.
This is porn. This is it.
This is porn. It's like...
Yeah, the first porno VHS I ever saw had a Ron Jeremy scene in it. I don't think I'm getting a signal.
Some very ugly humans fornicating. And I didn't have a dad that sat me down and was like, Neil, this is what fucking is.
Yeah,
Neil, this is what sex is.
It's not like now where, you know, you bring your kid into your computer study room and sit them down and put on Pornhub.
Yeah. If only my dad was like that and we had the internet. But yeah, my foray into watching people fornicate.
Oh, yeah, here.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Nasty, dude.
Yeah, he can pop that whole dick in his mouth.
It's not really... Yeah.
You can watch him, like, fuck girls and shit, but that's boring as hell.
Yeah.
Find the video or is it the picture?
No,
I just pulled up the pictures.
Yeah, wow. It's not...
I found the video.
It's not doing it for me.
I mean, it's beautiful in its own way.
Oh, that's a GIF right there. Okay. Just make sure none of this is on the actual camera.
Yeah. No,
Well, he's a talented man. There was a dude on the football team that could do the same thing, and we...
Really?
Yeah.
He could suck his own?
Yeah, and I remember...
Was that just locker room shenanigans, like boys?
It wasn't in the locker room. What was weird is we'd have these parties, and I only went to one of them, where we'd all sleep over at this dude Bubba's house, and part of the we didn't even drink or do drugs or anything.
Look at this guy coming.
Oh, nice.
And shooting out like a dolphin.
But I just remember this. All the dudes on the football team were trying to egg this guy on to lick his own, rigid penis in front of the
bunch of teen boys chanting "Suck your dick."
Yeah,
suck your dick.
Yeah, and
all tribal.
Yeah, and that was my experience on the Northville High School football team. I have a whole bit about that. We'll go into that more later.
Looks like Ron Jeremy's promoting a website called biggerpenis.pinup.net. Make your dick bigger with his 6 secrets.
Damn. I wonder if they work. I wonder if I'll be able to make my own.
This seems like something I should enter. I should enter my credit card info into this, I think.
Yeah, it seems safe.
Let me call my girlfriend and see if I borrow her credit card.
So the domestication includes using your partner's credit card to buy Ron Jeremy Dick Bigger type things.
Yeah, and then when she's like, "What is this charge?" Just being like, "Oh, I was trying to surprise you."
Is that your phone, Allie?
You might be subscribed to some stuff now.
So yeah, you met Ron Jeremy at the Rainbow, and I didn't even know that because I've definitely when I did hang out with Ron Jeremy. This is back in 2004. He got
Did he fall asleep? Because I heard he has narcolepsy.
He's narcoleptic. We were in the limo and we were going to different radio stations because they wanted to interview the hedgehog, and we were driving around. It was like 8-9 a.m. It was early in the morning because we were doing like the early morning radio circuit. And my buddies, they hired Ron Jeremy and they got a limo, and we all were dressed up in pimp suits promoting this Pimp and Hoe party that Downtown Brown was playing, a bunch of other bands as well.
Oh, yeah, I remember that party.
Yeah, and Ron Jeremy was the host. But we gave him an Altoid. He's like, my buddy was eating some Altoids, and Ron Jeremy's like, yeah, I'll have one of those Altoids. And he's puts the Altoid in his mouth, and 10 seconds later we look over at him and he's just passed out with his tongue's hanging out, and the Altoid is just like sitting in the center of his tongue.
Just disintegrating.
And so that was when we realized that he's narcoleptic. He just falls asleep.
Yeah, I hear he pass out at the wheel all the time out here and shit.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Bless him.
Bless up.
But yeah, so we were at a Coney Island, and I remember it was just me and him at one point. He points at a bottle of ketchup. He's like, they say ketchup's good for your prostate. And I'm just like, wow. I'm sitting next to Ron Jeremy.
Shit, I think you just cracked one of the 6 secrets right there.
He's telling me to eat more ketchup. And if only I was...
Yeah, one of his his 6 secrets is just like total cretin knowledge, like going to the McDonald's and stealing the ketchup packets and eating it.
I mean, maybe that's part of his... Yeah, maybe that's one of the 6 secrets.
I got to get my girlfriend's credit card now. I got to know what these 6 secrets is.
Oh, Ron.
Damn, yeah. If I was in a limo with him, I would like, can you do that dick trick? Can I see you put your dick in your mouth?
My buddy Steve was like, we need to do a cock off. And Ron Jeremy's like, okay, I'll pull out just enough to win. And we thought that was pretty funny. But the main memory I have of that limo ride and Ron Jeremy when he wasn't sleeping with the Altoid, we were listening, we had a little mix CD that my buddy Steve had made, and we were playing it in the limo, and it has Queen's Somebody to Love on it. And the song plays, and he's like, Ron Jeremy tells everyone, shut up, and he's like, turn this up. So we turn up, find me somebody to love. When the song ends, Ron Jeremy asks, he's like, can we play it again? And then he rolls down the window, and Queen, Somebody to Love is playing. Ron Jeremy is looking out the window just longingly, just completely quiet, like hand over like this, just like looking out the window. And
having a moment.
Yeah, it's just I'm like, he just told us a story about fucking an 80-year-old woman for money on camera, and now Queen is playing, and he's having this really quiet, contemplative moment where
totally tranquil.
Yeah, he's just looking out into the distance. Can I find me somebody to love? All I do is fuck 80-year-olds for money, but find me somebody to love. And I'll never forget seeing that glimpse of humanity in Ron Jeremy while Queen was playing. It was a somber moment.
Did you cry a little bit? You tear up?
Inside. It was a somber moment. But it just made you wonder. It's like, what is this guy? First of all, this guy's just telling a bunch of dudes how he fucked an 80-year-old. And then now he's...
Then, excuse me, gentlemen, I'm having a moment.
Yeah, now he's just like, everyone...
Climbing out the window.
He's like, everyone just shut the fuck up and let Queen play multiple times. So, yeah, I'll always wonder, what was Ron Jeremy thinking at that moment? Was he thinking about 80-year-olds, or was he thinking...
He was about to get violent. Someone keep talking over Queen. Yeah. He's about to pull out a gun.
Remember that time Ron Jeremy fought us in the limo because we were interrupting his Queen moment?
You fucking pistol whipped me.
Oh, jeez. If only.
He held us hostage.
Yeah, he made us all drink ketchup out of the bottle for our prostate health. And then he's like, I got 5 more secrets for you. Oh, jeez.
Empty your pockets.
Give me them girlfriend credit cards. Oh, man.
Damn, getting robbed by Ron Jeremy, and he doesn't even tell you the other 5 secrets.
It's like there has to be some give and take,
Damn.
But we're here in my van in Los Angeles, California. Allie's holding the camera. We got Vincent Trotto, the legend.
What up?
I remember Shane Stroud referred to you one time as a hipster legend. and he kept repeating it. What is it? What do you think about that?
I don't like that at all.
That was back when Shane talked to me, but he was what was he saying? He was
I see myself more as like a Tommy Pickles figure. You know, like a baby gotta do what a baby gotta do has been like kind of my own personal mantra.
I just remember he kept repeating. He's like, and that was before Vince became a hipster legend, and I just always was thinking of like, what is it? Because he has a mustache?
Shut the fuck up, Shane.
Is it because he has a mustache? Like, I agree he's a legend, but a hipster legend? I don't know. Like what? And the thing is too, with the definition of a hipster is such a, what does it actually mean? Is it just because you have a mustache?
I don't know, like
is it because you have a nice hat?
A lot of the cool like status-y guys in like Detroit didn't really like me. You know, they just like, I don't know, he's a little loud. He's a little loud.
So you didn't even roll with hipsters. How can you be a hipster?
Yeah, I like rolled with Shane.
You're rolling, yeah.
He's like the world. He considers himself like a ska avenger.
And what, is that like a Marvel superhero?
Like a ska superhero in his head.
Well, I remember when I first met Shane, we were playing the Warped Tour, and he was dressed.
Mad ups to you, Shane. Like you're my homie, but quit telling fucking people that.
This was a long time ago. I don't even remember how long ago this was, but he did refer to you as a hipster legend. But I remember when I did meet Shane, he did have he was dressed up like a mustard plug kind of cape guy.
Yeah,
he was doing
that's his MO.
But that was 2005.
Sure.
That was a long time ago. So I don't know.
He's probably his AOL Instant Messenger screen name was Ska Avenger.
For real?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so you think he's still the ska superhero type guy?
In my heart, yeah, at least.
In my heart.
In my heart, he is.
Well, in his heart, you're a hipster legend.
Well,
whatever that means. I just think you're Vincent. I always thought you're a unique dude. I don't ever think you were.
I'm just like a guy in a snow globe, you know. Shake it up, look at it, it's all pretty.
I never got the vibe that you were trying to be anything other than just the deviant that you are.
Nah, just like I said, man, just trying to live that Tommy Pickles life. Baby gotta do what a baby gotta do.
Is that an actual quote from Rugrats?
Yeah, that's Tommy Pickles' personal mantra.
For real?
Yeah, baby gotta do what a baby gotta do.
He says that on the show?
Yeah.
Huh. Can you verify this, Allie?
Yeah, he like does it before he pisses himself and stuff. So like before I would piss myself, I'd go, a baby's gotta do what a baby's gotta do. My homie's like, can you not do it in the car? Well, nah, dude, a baby's gotta do what a baby's gotta do. I gotta piss my pants in your car, and I'm gonna apologize tomorrow.
I've been there. Oh, what I wanted to ask you when we were going to the debauchery stories, was there ever a level of regret when you would come to from the debauchery and the drinking and whatnot?
Oh yeah, like I'm sure you're familiar with the benders ending and the anxiety roller coasters coming in, those emotional roller coasters, where suddenly you're like regretting every single thing you've ever done.
Because on the surface, a dude like myself or you, it could seem like people could come to the conclusion that these people really don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But most of it's just the booze, because when it came down to it, I would come to and I really gave a fuck. I care what people think about me. I don't want to be that guy. But
I've given out many a sincere apology.
Mm-hmm. Was there any bridge that
I burned a few bridges in Detroit. I think I'm still banned at Smalls.
Oh, was that for?
That was with Scott Boying. We had I was playing one of his shows, and
you smashed a mic or something though.
No, we didn't get banned for that. That was a different show.
Okay, what was this for?
This was for basically like we got put on this show, and there was like some girl that I was talking to on like OkCupid, and she was coming out, but she ended up like getting kicked out of the show for drinking a beer outside. So like I made up a bunch of bullshit and said that she was in our band. And we just gave her like a tambourine and like a dinosaur or some shit to like hold up, and she just like stood on stage with us, and like Scott figured out pretty fucking quick that I was just bullshitting his ass.
Mm-hmm.
And so he cut our sound, and I remember we were like, fuck this, so we just started like screaming in people's face, Mickey Mouse fanny pack, God is never coming back, and like we did that for like 10 minutes. And you're like, get the fuck out of here, or we're calling the fucking cops. And then he did like a call out post about me, and then the whole incident on Facebook. So I changed my profile pic to my homie, And we're just like, I'm gonna ride the heat out on this one. But we actually, I think like we made up at one of your shows. I think it was like one of the anniversary shows y'all did. It was at the Loving Touch.
Okay.
Like I just went up to him and I was like, hey man, I apologize for, you know, trying to bullshit you and causing a scene. You know, I was just fucked up and dealing with a lot of shit, and I was trying to impress this girl, and I'm just sorry, dude. And you know, we made up. We're cool.
Good. Yeah, an apology goes. I've been apologizing to people since I got sober. Like, I apologized to someone very recently that I hadn't talked to in years and years and years. That I just was like, hey, if I ever seem ungrateful for all the nice things you did because I was too fucked up to realize that I was being stupid. Yeah.
The Mickey Mouse fanny pack line was fucking lit. That was fucking.
Did you just make that? Did you just make that up?
I made it up on the spot there.
Say it one more time.
Mickey Mouse fanny pack. God is never coming back.
Man, I'm gonna.
It was a hot lick. It was a hot lick.
I gotta put that on a T-shirt. But yeah, so we're getting older and we're less crazy and drinking less and we're fucking with people less.
Fucking eating vitamins.
Yeah.
I take these B vitamins, dude.
Yeah. Is it helping?
I think.
I'm
not like, you know, I saw that y'all drinking that kombucha, that pond scum. My girlfriend drinking, I'm just like, you know, they just go into like the Rouge River and just fucking bottle up that fucking polluted water. Yeah.
Well, what's weird is I take relatively good care of myself and I still feel like crap all the time. So it's like, it's arguable whether or not all of the healthy shit that they sell you, does it even make you feel good?
No, it's probably all placebo.
Does it make you feel good? Are these vitamins actually vitamins? I don't know. But am I spending money on them? Yes. Is it making me feel better? Not really.
Not really, but it does feel good to be in line at Whole Foods.
It does feel good to spend $50 on 3 items.
Yeah. $20 gallon of milk.
Oh, jeez, man. It's expensive to live. But here, yeah, we're survivors, I guess. Right?
I think that we made it out of in the time that we were, you know, in a part of the Detroit scene, like heavy. You know, it was before like this new Detroit shit that popped up there. Like if you go downtown Detroit right now, it's like a fucking, it's like a 40-year-old white yuppies paradise down there. You know those paddle pubs?
Yeah.
They got those things cruising around like tugboats all over the damn road.
Yeah,
it was a little bit lawless when we were down there.
Oh, when we first started doing shows in Detroit in 01, people were afraid to go down there. They didn't want to come check out the shows. You know, Cass Corridor. It was before the White Stripes blew up and stuff. They still call it the Cass Corridor. Now they call it Midtown. Mm-hmm. It's changed a lot. It's
way different down there.
It's very retail-y. There's definitely a bunch of...
It's whitewashed and gentrified like a motherfucker, for sure.
And expensive. I remember my ex, right by the Magic Stick, she had a dirt cheap apartment on Willis. And it was like... It was just beat up, and it was scary at night, and you know, just walking to your car and stuff. And now, yeah, it feels it's very populated. There's those e-scooters are everywhere.
Oh yeah, those bird thing.
Well, it's Quicken Loans. I remember just walking. I did this yoga class down there, and
at Quicken Loan.
No, on Library Street, but it was the same parking garage that all the Quicken Loan people. So I'd be getting out of the yoga class like 8 a.m., 9 a.m. And all the Quicken employees are just, we're talking about just hundreds and hundreds of people walking to work, and they're all wearing. It's weird. Like, would you wear the company you worked for's, like, if you had the choice to wear a T-shirt? They like wear they have a choice to wear whatever they want to work, but they all choose to fucking dress up like Quicken Loans, like wearing all the Quicken Loans T-shirts.
Well, you know, it's like a cult in there.
Yeah.
Like they try to keep you there as long as they can. Like they don't really even like you to go home. Like, because they have everything that you need in the building. They'd prefer if you just stayed there. So they try to keep their employees there for like 12, 13, 14 hours. Like, oh yeah, when you're done, why don't you just go down to the gym or go to the pool or...
And I just had a long conversation with a good friend of mine that used to work for Quicken, and he said all of that family, we got your back stuff. He said as soon as he put in his 2 weeks, it ended. You know what I mean? Like they...
Oh yeah, you're not doing anything good for Gilly no more.
So so that's the thing. It's cultish.
Yeah, it's extremely cultish.
And don't they have?
And like my homie Chris Ruckus, he got excommunicated from the Mormon Church. You know, it's the same thing. You quit Quicken Loans and you get excommunicated from Quicken Loan.
His parents were Mormon, and he grew up Mormon.
You remember? Oh yeah. He grew up Mormon, but then when he was a teenager, he denounced the idea of God to the King Mormon or whoever the priest is of a Mormon church. I'm not too sure.
That.
Yeah, he didn't like it. They wrote him out of the church history. And but I just remembered one time I was hosting one of your shows. It was at the Majestic Cafe.
Yeah.
And I was playing the character of a Quicken Loans employee, and I brought some old cocktail shrimp that had been in my freezer for like 3 years.
I remember that.
Remember, I made the little shrimp bowl,
Yeah.
and I said like, "Oh, compliments of Dan Gilbert, free shrimp."
Yeah.
Those boys were moshing in the pit, and I was feeding them shrimp and dipping it for them.
Do you think it was safe to eat?
I don't know. My homie Brooke.
Did you eat any?
I didn't eat any.
Okay.
But and I made the cocktail sauce. It was just like ketchup.
Yeah. Because I remember seeing it, and I just remember being like, I am not eating.
Yeah,
that
no,
shrimp.
it was definitely fucked up. But there was a EDM show going on next door at the Magic
Populux.
Stick. Or yeah, it was the Populux then.
For the brief time it was popular.
And the line was like stretched around the building. There was a bunch of like bros with their shirts off. You know, the ecstasy's probably
Covered in
just
glitter?
kicking. Yeah, covered in glitter. And I'm going around with like, I was like, yep. This came in fresh off Dan Gilbert's shrimp boat on the East Coast this morning. And I'm sitting there dipping them. And these like shirtless guys are like, I had a blast. Yeah, that was shrimp cocktail compliments of Dan Gilbert and Quicken Loans.
And wouldn't that be hilarious if the next day in the Detroit News it's like EDM concert goers made terribly ill by Dan Gilbert shrimp, and
Police are looking for.
Police
I think I said my name was Kyle.
Yeah, police are looking for this Quicken employee, and it has just an artist depiction of you with the glasses and the hipster legend mustache.
Yeah, I think I had a nice little Argyle sweater and some khakis on because I dressed the part of like a Quicken Loans employee. Yeah, that was fun, dude. I just saw a picture of that like in Facebook memories. Like that shit pop up, and it was just me fucking hand feeding these fucking moshers some shrimp.
Yeah, the show was poorly attended. I remember that. I remember.
It was still a fucking banging time, though.
Yeah, we try to have a good time. I remember it very vividly. Man, I'm just glad you didn't poison any of those glitter boys. That's a weird thing too, because I like, let's say flashback to 1998, flashback to 02, 03. If you were a high school quarterback covered in glitter, you probably would catch some shit for it. But
I'd imagine, yeah.
I worked the Electric Forest Festival in 2018, I believe, and it's the norm now to be shirtless, buff dude, glitter with fairy wings, listening to EDM at the EDM festival. Like, it's people say that, like, people are fighting.
That's the cool shit.
I think it's kind of as weird as it may be. I think it's kind of a sign of progress that like the jocks can have fairy wings.
Yeah, I mean it is progress because definitely like when I was like in high school in like 2005 and that like I would catch a lot of shit for various outfits and shit that I would be doing. Yeah,
you kind of had big pants, kind of raver kind of thing, like
kinda,
cyberpunk thing going on.
I called it rave punk.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'd catch a lot of shit, and now they're at Electric Forest, like, they all look like they rap in the Cottonmouth Kings, but they're covered in glitter. Mm-hmm. Covered in glitter, and and then they're just like, dude, like I love you so much, like I it might be just the Smalley, but. Maybe we should jack each other off over by the trees that are all lit up. He's like, bro, yeah, dude, yes, fuck yes.
I mean, yeah, and everyone...
Like coming with your best friends is just like fucking the 2019, like the biggest way to show that you truly appreciate and love somebody.
I gotta try it. Who are my best friends?
I mean, when we turn this off, we could just jack off back here.
Should we all try sucking our own dick?
Yeah, we should try it on Jeremy.
Yeah.
I mean, we can keep it rolling.
I might hurt.
You could save the footage, and if you ever start a Patreon, put our dick sucking video behind the paywall.
Oh, actually, we do have a Patreon. So,
Oh, there we go.
so yeah,
Perfect.
So, yeah, we're gonna put that on the
bonus
on
content
the
coming your
members
way
only
out.
feed.
Yeah, bonus content coming up.
See, I already have neck problems, and I just think that would blast my neck problems into the stratosphere. Trying to get my little get my little dongle
Yeah,
in my
then we
mouth.
we gotta
my
drive
mouth
you
hole.
over to the emergency room. Like, what happens? Like, well, we were trying to like show that we loved each other as friends, so we started sucking our own dicks with each other. It was like a form of yoga. It was Ron Jeremy's fourth secret to getting a bigger penis was sucking your own dick with your friend.
And ketchup is number 2.
Ketchup's number 2. So, you know, he opened up a ketchup packet, squirted it in his mouth, tried to suck his own dick, and then his neck broke.
And this is the type of quality content that we want to put into the ether right here.
Dude.
We probably should wrap it up.
Yeah. It's I think that we did probably a good hour and a half or so.
Yeah, I'll
Pretty
cut it
solid.
up. We'll make it real. We'll make it pretty. But
Cool. Well, I
love you, man.
Yeah, I love you too, Neil.
to
Thanks
see
for
ya.
having me on. This was fun.
Yeah, we got the
I was
riff.
excited. I was excited to get up on a podcast.
This is a real thing. It's being distributed through the cosmos and the world.
One of my favorite fucking things in the world is to sit around and bullshit and riff.
Yeah.
So I was sick to do it in this grocery store parking lot.
Yeah, and we're mobile, and we have the mics, and we have the know-how, and we have Allie here helping, and
Thank you, Allie.
yeah. Sup?
And so if you want to check out any of the bullshit that I've done, Crochetcatpause.com. It's a complicated band name, and I'm not going to spell it out for you. You can just figure it out. But
Links in the
it's
description.
pause, like press pause, not like fucking cat hands or whatever the fuck they is.
Links in the description.
Hell yeah.
We'll link all the good.
Also, if y'all are on Facebook, I got an adults only Thomas the Train page. No children. This is adults only. 18 and up only. Thomas the Train fan page.
And what does that consist of?
A bunch of adults talking about we're gonna fuck these trains right in the mouth. It's for people who just see Thomas the Train's mouth and you're like, that thing was built for sucking a dick.
And people want to argue that we haven't made progress. We got Dudes and Fairy Wings, and we have forums online talking about fucking Thomas the Train's mouth.
And his friends.
Yeah, and his friends.
Not just Thomas. Like,
Yeah.
all like
The whole gang.
Yeah, the whole gang. Gordon, Henry, the big trains.
God bless America.
Yeah.
God bless 2019. Well, once again, this is SUPcast episode 11. We did the thing, and we're here with Vincent Trotto, the hipster legend,
Hipster
in
legend.
quotes.
Episode 9/11.
Episode 9/11, baby. And yeah, check the links down below. And we do have a Patreon, so if you want to see us trying to fillet ourselves, become a patron. Let's do it.
Cool.
That's not a
Goodbye,
promise.
everybody.
Goodbye, world. Enjoy your day. Lovely. Good night. Good night, moon.
Shit, are you fucking with him? I said, are you fucking with Downtown Brown? Cause if you ain't, I'm on your fucking ass, bitch. Downtown Brown is the shit. I come to your fucking house, you better say that shit. Downtown Brown is the shit, I don't fuck around, bitch. Detroit murderers, big hoodoo. Downtown Brown is the shit. You don't say that shit, I will fucking kill you.